Here you are, you're in a very vulnerable state, you're very upset, you're having to let go of somebody who you know, you've worked with for a couple of years, and your intention is to put something out online to kind of be supportive or to lend support to other people who are having to go through this. So you're feeling vulnerable, you want to show that vulnerability with others to kind of create that connection, let people know that, you know, they're not the only ones going through this. And all of a sudden, you get these crazy, angry comments. So what was going through your mind as you're seeing, like, wait a minute, here I am trying to be vulnerable, but people are not, that vulnerability is not connecting with other people. What was going through your mind when you saw that there was this big gap between how you were feeling and how people were actually responding or taking it, how, you know, they were misinterpreting how you were actually feeling?
Yeah. I think a lot of people have a lot of, like, I think COVID has, and all of the being at home and being without others and with having a very divisive everything nowadays. It's like everything seems to be you're either left or you're right. You're either here or you're there. There's no middle. So I kind of just like, and I like to listen to Joe Rogan, it's my favorite podcast, but you know, he talks quite a bit about this divisiveness as well on quite a bit of it. And he's very much a middle person, but people either think he's too liberal or think he's like, that's how I've always been too, because my parents are very left, one side of them, and the other parents are very right, but I've always been very in the middle. But I've always still kind of seen when I try to have discussions that like, it's really tough because even though I'm in the middle, they think I'm way too far away from them. So as I'm seeing this happen, I realize that there's a lot of pain going on in the world, and I'm sure there's people who have been let go by people, and I think that there's also a lot of, I guess, bullshit on social where people are pretending to be what they're not. Like, we live in a fake it until you make it world, and that's the other side of social, of like you're trying to pretend to be something that you're not. So then I guess when people put something out, that it's difficult to know whether their intentions were true or not. So I tried to look at it from their side and say, okay, if I saw a random person crying on LinkedIn and I saw that he had the CEO title, do I think he would be being honest about letting go of those employees?
Yeah.
Maybe not. For the wrong audience, it didn't connect. For a lot of the people who are in leadership positions who have been through it, it connected with them 100%. So I think it was just trying to look at it from both sides without assuming too much from their side. And I don't know what they've been through recently. I don't know if they've been laid off. I don't know if they're, what's going on. So I just kind of assume that they're probably hurting too.